Coming up, an update on a project in Martin County to revitalize a historic building.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News at 11.
Good evening, I'm Steve Hensley. A group of students from out of state are lending a hand to a project in Martin County, clearing out a historic building and learning along the way. WYMT's Buddy Forbes has more about the journey for the jailhouse.
Cleaning up.
All this in the back?
Clearing out. Giving back.
God allows our paths to cross with some wonderful people that come from all over the country that are interested in this part of the country, Appalachia itself. But
Appalachia Reach Out joined forces with Northwest Nazarene University this week, bringing the Idaho students to Inez.
We really want to get an opportunity to get our hands involved, just listen to the people, do what they need.
Continuing the Martin County Courthouse renovation that kicked off last summer, volunteers loaded up items from the county's former lockup.
With every box, we can see a little bit more how progress is being made. And as we get cells cleared out and we can walk through the hallways, it just becomes exciting to share in the vision of what is going to be happening here at some point.
The project, aiming to bring the structures back to life in a new way, has the Nampa students looking at the history of the area.
It's taken us way longer than we think to clean this out because we just keep stopping and opening up books and different drawings and stuff. And it's just super cool to see. Giving them an appreciation for the stories behind the walls and the bars that surround them. Kind of just think through how it was then, how it is now, and just kind of place yourself in the shoes of the people that were here before you. It's locking in the reality that they are part of something more.
This whole area is just soaked in history, and it just feels like you're a part of a longer story.
From an empty prison.
It's exciting to know that we might be able to come back someday and have a small piece of shared story here.
To endless possibilities. In Martin County, Buddy Forbes, WYMT Mountain News.
The project will continue through next week and is one of many phases as the county and Historical Society work to plan for the future of the building, part of which has already been used to host comedy at the courthouse. Kentucky Labor Cabinet officials say Kentucky will use federal funding to establish a mobile unemployment insurance office to make the program more accessible. The agency will be able to send mobile offices to underserved communities. The program will help people file for benefits, request payments, and review their eligibility. Officials also plan to use some of the funding to improve communication with unemployment insurance claimants. Today, Governor Andy Beshear gave an update on the state of COVID-19 across Kentucky. He called this week a mixed bag for COVID numbers. While they haven't really dropped at all, they aren't spiking like crazy either. Only 3 counties in the state are in the yellow, all others are green. The positivity rate across Kentucky is now up to 7%. That's more than in the last 4 to 5 weeks, but still not too alarming.
What this suggests is our numbers are going up, but not very quickly. They could, in fact, go down next week, but this is, 2 weeks of increases in a row. We're certainly seeing increases in other areas of the country. In some other areas, we're seeing hospitalizations increase, but deaths are not increasing.
The governor added that there's more COVID out there than reported because of at-home testing, and he's encouraging everyone who's eligible to get a booster shot. The Kentucky Democratic Party has filed an ethics complaint against Attorney General Daniel Cameron just one day after he announced his run for governor. They say Cameron violated ethics laws by investigating the Democratic governor he now wants to unseat. The Democratic Party wants the state executive branch ethics commission to investigate. The complaint cites past commission opinions barring an attorney general from investigating a governor and then challenging that governor in an election. The KDP says in 2017, Beshear recused himself from investigations into then Governor Matt Bevin because he intended to run against him.
Stumbo and Beshear had to follow the rules, and they did. And let me be clear, Daniel Cameron does not get to play by his own rules.
In a statement, Cameron's campaign says, quote, "This is the real Andy Beshear. He shows his true colors when he has his minions send out a memo complaining that being held to the law is unfair. Over a year out, and Bashir is already acting this desperate. What a joke, end quote. A Rockcastle County couple has filed a lawsuit against the judge executive. Larry and Cecilia Gregory claim Hal Holbrook laid a gravel road on private property, their property. They say the road leads to a magistrate's family member's house. And the Gregorys are suing because they say the actions have violated their rights. The judge executive has not yet responded. The $40 billion aid package to Ukraine is being held up by Kentucky Senator Rand Paul. In a rare show of bipartisanship, Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer worked with Minority Leader Mitch McConnell to move the measure forward, but Senator Paul is adding an amendment that would require overseeing how the aid money is spent. It's a move that will delay passage for several days.
My oath of office is to the U.S. Constitution, not to any foreign nation, and no matter how sympathetic the cause, my oath of office is to the national security of the United States of America. We cannot save Ukraine by dooming the U.S. economy.
Well, Democrats say it was clear from Senator Paul's remarks that he, quote, does not want to aid Ukraine, unquote. Both Democrats and Republicans acknowledge there are enough votes to pass the measure in the Senate.
Well, it was another gorgeous day in the mountains today. All was quiet. It was a little warm and we saw plenty of sunshine. Changes, though, on the way as we head into the day tomorrow. Slight at first, and then we increase those rain chances a little bit later on in the weekend. Outside right now, I-75 at Mount Vernon, it's all quiet, as you'd expect at this hour. Same thing from the campus of the University of Virginia's College at Wise, sitting at 63 at this hour. All is quiet yet again there as well. High temperatures today. It was warm in some spots. Monticello got up to 85. It was 84 Somerset and London. We finished up at 82 here in Hazard. Same thing in Williamsburg, over to Jackson, over toward Prestonsburg as well. So just about all of us into the 80s this afternoon. Temperatures at this hour. Some of us still near 70, as to be expected at this hour. Others already falling into the mid-60s. Just some low-level moisture streaming back in on pinpoint Doppler. None of that's reaching the ground. You see that there. But we're watching moisture coming at us from, of all places, from the east over the next couple of days. So keep an eye out to the eastern sky, and not just for the sunrise. Upper 50s tonight with clear skies and calm winds. I'll have the latest, though, on when showers move back in coming up in just a few minutes. Steve?
All right, Evan, thank you. Today, Shannon Gilday appeared in a Madison County courtroom for an arraignment, but he'll have to enter a plea next week. He's accused of breaking into former State Representative Wesley Morgan's home and killing his daughter, Jordan. His attorneys wanted to enter a guilty but mentally ill plea for him, but that was pushed back by the judge. She ruled that she would not accept any plea today. The prosecution does not want to accept the plea, saying it will cause issues as the case progresses.
My fear is that because the Commonwealth then would ask for a sentencing hearing where life without the possibility of parole, life without parole for 25 years, and death would be on the table.
Gilday will be back in court at 9 Monday morning for the arraignment to be continued. He's charged with murder, attempted murder, assault, and several other charges. We have an update on a Whitley County man who was convicted of violent kidnappings. 62-year-old George Oscar Messer was sentenced to life in prison yesterday. Messer was convicted by a federal jury of 2 counts of kidnapping in January of this year. Messer and co-conspirators held 2 victims for around 24 hours. The victims were interrogated, threatened, and assaulted. They only escaped after a family member spotted them in a ditch on the side of the road with Messer. Mountain Comprehensive Care officials manage the healing program for survivors of sexual assault. In Prestonsburg, the mission is aided with a community approach that includes the mayor's office and the police department. City police are trained to see sexual assaults through the victim's lens and play an important role not just in the law enforcement process, but in the healing process as well.
Not just actually the act of keeping it safe, but ensuring that they feel safe, that we're present, that we're active, and we're involved.
Captain Shurtleff says the sexual assault training officers receive gives them an understanding of how to best support survivors while still collecting the critical information needed for legal action. The Mountain Arts Center is preparing to host the 2022 elk hunt draw. Officials with the BAC say nearly 80,000 hunters entered for a chance to win a tag last year and expect the same or even more this year. MAC Executive Director Joe Campbell says it's always amazing when someone at the event wins a tag.
It's extremely rare to get one. So it's when somebody does get it, it's a joyful occasion.
Only 594 tags are available, and folks across the country and even around the world enter the drawing each year. London Downtown and First National Bank of Manchester are hosting Burger Week in downtown London, highlighting 7 restaurants and eateries, inviting community members to get out, try out the new burger recipes, and enjoy the evening downtown shopping and walking around. Both London Downtown and FNBM are being rewarded for their efforts downtown.
London Downtown and First National Bank of Manchester both recently won Kentucky Main Street Awards.
Those in charge say to come out, eat local, and enjoy the beautiful downtown area. Visit WYMT.com to find out how saving your receipts from the restaurants this week can win you $25. Coming up on Mountain News at 11, May is Mental Health Awareness Month. What doctors are telling us about the internal battles many face.
But first, a summer-like weather pattern is on the way as we head into the end of the work week. The latest on when showers and storms could move in. Coming up.
Summer is here, and with an exciting